Guardian Angel, an Angelica Dale Mystery by P.K. Armstrong. Chapter 26. He didn't have much to say on the ride in, Roland prepping for his interrogation and Angel thinking about Violet. Entering the police station, Angel noted the glances taking in her injuries. Are they impressed or do they think I'm an idiot? Angel mumbled. Roland gave her a swift look. Impressed? Not only did you save Violet, you woke up in the ambulance and gave the make, model, and partial plate on the car Evan was driving. He chuckled softly. You've earned much respect at the department. Angel watched as Roland sat down in front of Evan, passing him a bottle of water at the same time. Evan took the bottle, screwed off the top, and took a long drink, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. You know Violet, don't you? Evan nodded, licking his lips. Her mom and I have an off and on thing. How long? A few years. Roland leaned in. Go on. Evan stared at Roland and smiled. Brandy is a tease, but she will give you what you want if you give her what she wants. Which is? Money, usually. Gifts, mostly. Clothes, jewelry, dinner out with expensive drinks. I'd go over to her house, and that's where I'd see that kid of hers. She wouldn't be nice to me like her mom. She'd look at me with that look, Evan shifted in his chair. As if she was better than me. Damn kid. Who does she think she is? Brandy should have never got her. His voice trailed off, and he put the bottle to his lips again. Roland glanced at the two-way glass, and then back at Evan when he continued. I even bought her one of those plushies. A dolphin. She wasn't going to say thank you, but Brandy made her give me a sweet kiss. He tapped his cheek and grinned. And then the grin disappeared. Little B. He glanced at Roland and, shook by what he saw, stopped and then finished. Ran off to her room, wiping her lips. Evan was beating the table softly with his closed fist. Did you know where she went to school? Roland asked. Not at first. Evan paused just long enough for Roland to change the direction. Evan, how do you know Simon Rain of Rain Holdings? Mr. Rain and I go way back. I went to school with his son, Jack. Jack and I used to get into it back in the day. Jack went off to college and got himself killed drinking and driving. A friend of Brandy's, Diana or Denise something or other, invited us to a party a while back, and Mr. Rain was there. Denise was his girl and would contact me every now and again if Mr. Rain had work he wanted me to do for him. What kind of work? Evan was watching Roland as if he was trying to see how much he should tell him. He relaxed back into his chair. Odd jobs, insurance jobs, set up a couple of electrical fires, lean on some renters to vacate a building he wanted to buy, things like that. And Sinclair Academy? Roland prompted. Evan nodded. Mr. Rain said he wanted to get back at some lady who cost him a deal. Said she was loaded and had lots of property, but he wanted to hit her where it hurt. He asked me to sneak in the school and make things difficult, mess some stuff up. You said you set fires for Mr. Rain. Is that what you did at the school? Not electrical. I found lots of flammable material in the theater room. Someone left the door unlocked. I threw a bunch of costumes into a barrel and put a match in. Didn't expect it to flare up so fast. Evan laughed at the memory. Almost lost my eyebrows. Mr. Rain gave me 2,000 big ones after the fire. What else did you do to the school? Roland's nonchalant attitude caused Evan to relax even more in the telling of his crimes. Mr. Rain wanted to see me again. Why? When I met him, he gave me a plastic bag with this nasty meat. Chicken, I think. He told me to dirty up the cafeteria kitchen. He gave me 5,000 for that one. And the refrigerator? Evan nodded again. Yeah, I was walking by that building and went in and did some exploring. I found the kitchen and decided to stuff some paper towels in the works. I was going to do more, but I heard someone coming and left. I scratched a car on my way out. Another time, I got onto the property during the day, but there were too many people. I had to duck down a wooded path and wait by some trees. Angel leaned forward and put a hand on the glass, holding her breath, knowing what Evan was going to say next. That's where he saw her, she whispered to herself. Is that when you saw Violet? Roland asked. Yeah, she was walking with her friends one day, wearing a short skirt, smiling, acting like she didn't have a care in the world, like she belonged there. He looked at Roland and, seeing his blank face, continued. She didn't go there at first. She was in public school. Got uppity when she started living at that posh school. Wouldn't even say hi. So you decided to teach her a lesson. Evan shifted in his chair uncomfortably. I didn't mean to. He paused, forming his next words carefully. I didn't mean to do that. I left that first time I saw her. Then I went back to the campus a couple of days later, and I just wanted to see her, maybe scare her, show her she could be got at. Put my hand over her mouth, and she started fighting me. She knocked part of my hood off. I got angry. I told her to stay still, and she kicked me. Angel glanced away from Evan and watched Roland. He was tense. Angel could tell he was trying to keep it together. It was always hard when it was a child. Evan took a few deep breaths and continued. I tripped over something and she landed on top of me. I flipped her over and straddled her. She kept wriggling. She started to scream again, so I covered her mouth real quick like. Then she bit me. I got so mad, so I hit her. She just lay there unconscious. She didn't have to bite me. I was just trying to scare her. She woke up and started crying, but she stopped really quick when I took my knife out and started cutting her hair. All of a sudden, she started screaming. I heard shouting, voices. Then I ran away. Evan had been talking with his eyes directed into his lap for the last minute. Angel stared at his head, bent down, and watched him pick at his nails. Was he ashamed? He glanced up at Roland, and whatever he saw made him shiver and drop his head back down. Roland got up, shoved the chair back under the table, and walked out of the interview room. Angel quickly left the observation room and stopped short when she got into the hallway. She thought about something Evan had said. It reminded her of something Brandy had let slip when she interviewed her the second time. I have a question I need to ask him, she insisted. Roland looked down at her and then past her as Captain Davis walked up. Detective, how's the interview going? Is he giving it up? Roland leaned up against the wall and nodded. Yeah, Cap. He's being very forthcoming. Angel turned to Captain Davis. I need to ask him a question. The captain looked at Roland, who shrugged, and walked over to the interview room door and opened it, motioning for Angel to enter. Evan was resting his head on his arms, his breathing a little raspy. He looked up when Roland pulled out the chair for Angel to sit down. Angel sat down carefully, and Evan swallowed hard. I didn't hit you, Evan said forcefully. I know. Evan swallowed again. I didn't kick you either. I know that too. Angel looked Evan in the eye. I need you to answer a question. Evan looked at Angel and nodded. Brandy told me Violet needs to go back where she came from. And you said Brandy should have never got her. What do you mean by that? Roland had taken the background after Angel sat down and stayed in the corner of the room with his back against the wall, one knee bent and his foot planted on the wall. When Angel spoke, he stood up and moved closer to the table. Evan sat back in his chair and slumped down as if he was trying to put distance between himself and Roland. Angel said louder, Evan, what was Brandy talking about? Evan sighed, ran his fingers through his hair, and spoke softly. Violet isn't Brandy's daughter.